when we decided to call ourselves Stiff Gins, and there was a really negative connotation for that word, gin, for all Aboriginal people, all Aboriginal women, we thought we're going to have to be good and practice hard and represent people well for it not to be an insult to women anymore. History of that tiny little word, it goes back, how many thousands of years, we don't know, and it just meant woman. And then for 200 years it meant something else. And we carry that idea of history with us just in our name.
Gin was an Aboriginal word for woman in the first place. We tell people that we're reclaiming that word, and I feel that's kind of our duty as well as young Indigenous and also as Aboriginal women as well.
I bear the name, I proudly bear the name, denied to some. Brother, sister, Uncle, auntie, daughter, son. We're Aboriginal people, but I'm Uluru and she's Yori Yora Wiradjuri, because that's our identity. Even though we live in Sydney and we live out of country, that's who we are. I definitely reckon that not a lot of people know that there's more than one Aboriginal language. When you explain to people that all the different nations on the continent, and say it's very similar to how Europe set out, that they're very small countries but very different to each other, then people start to click. If you sort of relate it to some, it's funny you have to relate it to 40,000 kilometres away, but people get it when you say it like that.
I'm Wiradjuri, and my people from here, around this area.
So all this area here is Gamilaroi, but Uluru speakers are up here. I hate language loss, that word, because the fact that even in my area people can start to relearn it means that it's not lost, that it was buried. And lost for me sort of infers that it was our neglect that meant that it's not being used anymore, and that's not right. When we've got old people who struggled for years to remember and keep things going. I'm sure it was the same when we were both growing up. When we went back to our areas, certain words would be replaced for the English words. You didn't hear language spoken fluently, but you always knew that there was alternatives to the way that you were talking.
As we've progressed singing, I realised that our songwriting is just all about telling stories about our history and about who we are. And I wanted my first song in language to be about that and who I am, and just in very simple terms, I just wanted to tell everybody.
We all need to have a say on how language that's used to describe us is interpreted, so we do that as two individuals because we believe that we can make a difference in that way, but we also do it to show other people that if you want to do something with a word that you don't like, or with words that you love and you want to tell everyone about it, then do it.